Hey, everybody, welcome back to your Dawn of Autonomy podcast. I'm Dawn Zoldi, your host and the CEO of P3 Tech Consulting. We have an incredible episode for you today as we continue on a month dedicated to this theme of protectors and defenders, sponsored by Nokia as well as Flying Lion. So, and the CEO of P3 Tech Consulting. If you all missed that show last week, it was amazing. So go ahead and check that out. And we are live, of course. So, as with any live show, we might have some glitches and just heard some feedback. And Alex is on his phone today. So we've got Alex Momand with us, and we just lost his face. Super cool. See if we can get him back. Alex is with M&R Environmental.
Hi, everyone. If you can hear me, I'm not sure if there's a glitch that I may be having. My name is Alex Momand, and I am the CEO of M&R Environmental. We're having some technical difficulties. If you can give me one moment, I'm going to sign right back in. Okay, well, no, we're good to go, but we're having some technical difficulties. I'm the CEO of M&R Environmental, and I represent a local AI startup now in the Bay Area. We started our grassroots in Afghanistan, working with the Department of Defense. Okay, I'm having a little bit of a technical difficulty. I'm going to just try to sign right back in. Hello again, this is Alex Momand. I apologize, I was having some technical difficulties. So a little bit about myself. I am a local, I live in the Bay Area, and I'm an Afghan American. I started here locally in the Bay Area, starting with local environmental work. I then transferred over to Afghanistan and started looking at various opportunities in Afghanistan. And I was able to come across many issues that were present in Afghanistan, such as the active use of burn pits. And I was able to collaborate with the US military leadership to stop the use of these toxic burn pits that were bringing harm to our military out there, and also to the local populace by starting a local recycling program. M&R Environmental Solutions, we're really at the forefront of bringing real solutions uh, to the grassroots and to the front line. It's really focused on dealing with matters not just here at home, but overseas, such as we had done in Afghanistan. M&R is really focused on being able to bring those innovative technologies to the forefront and the front line. Being able to work with the Department of Defense in Afghanistan, and particularly investing over $12 million in the critical infrastructure there, it has taught me a lot, particularly within the company, where we would be then building now, which is our AI startup. How can the technology that we're building here at home in the United States, how can that be deployed? And we're fortunate with M&R Environmental that we've had that experience in Afghanistan where we were able to deploy our local technology there. And now as artificial intelligence has taken a big leap, how can that be implemented in other frontline scenarios? So the experience that we were able to obtain during the years of operation in Afghanistan has taught us a lot, particularly with the deployment of technology. And currently, right now, with the technology that we're developing and utilizing drones and how that can assist with machine learning and AI and dispersion modeling, it's really amazing how all of these work hand in hand. And for us to be able to utilize a drone that can carry a heavy payload, carry a mass spectrometer or a gas chromatograph, be able to carry various sensors and cameras, and to be able to feed that data in real time, and feed it through an AI that we're building, it's remarkable. And one of the great promising ventures that we're currently pursuing is the situational awareness within minutes, not days, where all of the data that's being collected by a drone, and also stationary sensors, and being able to have the AI utilize, dispersion modeling, for example, to be able to detect where a plume, a hazardous plume, is headed. And when we take a step back to Afghanistan, as I mentioned earlier with the burn pits, the plumes could have been detected as to where they're headed. And looking back at when the burn pits were operating and where we are now in 2024, there's been a huge leap. So there's promising efforts here as far as the integration of hardware, drones, and bringing in AI and machine learning. So physics-informed neural networks, PINs, it's really interesting because it's able to give critical information either through sensor fusion or data mesh, where physics is able to be played in real time through the AI. And when we're talking about potential explosives or chemical attacks, there's a lot going on in the environment in real time. And all of that data, being able to process that through AI in real time and utilizing physics-informed neural networks, it really gives an upper hand when you do have a scenario where a possible chemical attack could be present, and to be able to actively track that chemical attack, to be able to give actionable intelligence to the local populace or to a base to shelter in place or to close off certain vents. And being able to utilize physics-informed neural networks with, for example, also sensors that can detect scent. Also utilizing other gas sensors and spatial imagery as well. And how can all of that come together, and how can an AI learn from that? And that's where the physics-informed neural networks really come to play. And I, and along with my team, believe that this is going to be very vital and critical in being able to achieve that situational awareness in minutes, not in days.
Hey, so since Dawn is having some trouble getting back on, I'm going to take over on hosting duties. So you got Mike as the eye in the sky here. Alex has been doing a great job moving things along and going through what the planned interview is going to be. So I'm just going to take it up right here and ask, how can we prepare our warfighters for future combat scenarios with the integration of AI and machine learning on the battlefield?
This is really critical here because right now, the way that AI is moving forward, it's wonderful. And as Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, has mentioned, we're in an industrial revolution. And if you think back to the steam trains, when we had that industrial revolution, and the coal trains, they were big, they were heavy, they consumed a lot of power. But now you have these very fast bullet trains. So things have evolved. But right now we're at that stage in AI where things are heavy. It's consuming lots of power. Now, how do you take AI and bring it to the battlefield? And when we have adversaries that are constantly tracking thermal signatures and other methods to be able to find our brave warfighters, we want to minimize that. And the way that we are thinking along with MNR is being able to deploy the AI on the front line. And this kind of revisits the experience in Afghanistan. As I mentioned, I'd spent quite some time outside the wire. So for me to be able to envision the use of AI as is, where it would rely on the cloud, and you're in the middle of, let's say you're in, the northern plains of Bagram outside the wire, and you're having a difficult a time with connectivity, it's just not practical. You could probably make it work here. Well, yes, you can make it work here at home where you have reliable connection, but when you take it to an active war zone or a location, it's going to be very difficult. And that's where we're really focusing on making the AI deployable.
So, kind of like, I'm going to go a little bit off script here, but taking what last thing you said with kind of something that was burning in the background in my mind, I think a lot of people think about generative AI, and is that different than the type of AI you're using? Because generative AI is not exactly known for accuracy, or it's approaching more accuracy as time goes on, but there's other forms of AI that are 100% more accurate than analytical or rule-based tools. So what type of AI are you actually talking about here?
Correct. Yeah, and I think you touched up on a very important point, which is the accuracy. And when you are in active combat or you're actively fighting a fire, per se, you really want to make sure that you do have the accurate data. So our big focus on our AI platform is ensuring that the data that's coming in is clean and free of any garbage. And the way that the current AI is set up, for example, if you're utilizing ChatGPT, you're going to have a lot of issues where there will be, the AI will hallucinate. And you will get information that is not really relevant, and you got to go back there and correct that. So our main focus is being able to
Oh, we lost Alex. Oh. Okay, so looks like we lost Alex. Everybody's having connection issues today, but it seems like he was talking about the nature of getting accurate data and how important that is for our warfighters. I think we have Dawn coming back in while Alex is off, so hopefully I could get her going in a few seconds. Thank you, everybody, today for their patience. We will make clips of this show so that you could actually get all the good parts all at once. For those of you who are participating live, hang in there for a second, and hopefully we should be able to get things started. I'm going to drop Alex's signal for a second until he's able to sign back in. All right, Don, do you want to jump in? Nope. But I'll put you in there. That's the old Dawn. Let me get the new Dawn in. Let's see. Let's try this one. Nope. And there you go. That should be it. There you go.
All right, fun times. I'm holding my phone physically at this point. For whatever reason, I couldn't use my computer, but yeah. So Alex is putting together this AI and physical and physics informed neural network for the warfighter, and I've been working with him and his team really since AUVSI Exponential. There's been iterations of this, and it's still evolving, but super exciting, and demos coming up soon. This is really going to make a difference, I think, not just on the battlefield, but with regards to homeland security and disaster response, all kinds of different kind of protector and defender applications for what Alex is putting together. Yeah, so I'm not sure if he's going to come back in or if this is going to be the shortest show ever.
Well, we're 18 minutes in, but I can tell you where we were leaving off. We were talking about actually you came in with good comment, which is he was talking about his physics informed neural networks. We were delineating that against generative AI, or and Alex was bringing up the importance of accuracy in battlefield situations specifically. So, if there's anything else about Alex's product you want to get going for the people who are hanging in there, just to let them know, and maybe if we can't get him back on, we'll figure out a way to do a redo.
There he is! Yay!
Oh, yep. We made it. Okay.
Maybe it's possible both of us will be in the show at the exact same time.
Excellent.
Alex, you know what? My friend, there is a first time for everything, and this is honestly a first after almost 5 years doing this show with Mike. So I guess you're special, but right. Let's jump back into the physics informed neural networks, and let's talk about basically the risk or the threat if you're using a network that isn't closed, and kind of being fed with data that possibly that is not from your own organic information.
Yeah, and this is where it becomes really sensitive.
Right.
If you're doing a local project with the city, trying to mitigate flooding in certain areas, then yeah, okay, you can play around with open source. But when you start getting to an active firefight or a war zone, you're really going to make sure that the sources that you are using are going to be either your own, or if there is a variable within the source where it could just be satellite imagery, that the physics-informed neural network and the AI is not totally reliant on that specific feed of data. So this is where we're really focusing on the data mesh and sensor fusion. So, if it's going to be with the military, we're going to ensure that whatever sensors that we are utilizing internally are secure, are safe, and are adhering to DoD standards. In addition, if we are going to use any open source, we're going to make sure that the open source data is not really that of a critical component to our AI, to where it would any compromise would cause us to have a fail or have poor data.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Very, very cool. So, Alex, did you talk a little bit about some of the technologies from a sensor standpoint that you're looking at? And when you were offline for a minute or two there, I was talking about how you might have some upcoming demos. I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about what you're hoping to showcase as part of this pin and the AI that you're putting together.
Yes, and a big part of our demos, particularly, is to showcase the technology. And what's really important when we showcase the technology is that it's functional and it works. And the only way you do that is by actually deploying it. And specifically with what we're going to be showcasing for the US government is atmospheric plume dispersion modeling. And, where if you were to have a potential chemical attack, where is this plume going to head? And how can you get that data in real time, where command leadership can be informed in real time, not a week later on a PowerPoint, not days later where, God forbid, there would be potential casualties or injury to military or local populace. Our main focus is to be able to create a demo to showcase how this can be fed in real time. And we're really focusing on the actionable intelligence. And we're currently building an LLM that is very energy efficient. And we're working with local academia to be able to have voice interface. And when you do have an active scenario where there's a potential chemical attack, you're not going to have time to sit there and have a data scientist put together all of this data and give a phone call or send a text message or go on the radio. We want the LLM to be able to process that in real time through voice interface, and we're keeping it very simple. We're not complicating it. 4 to 5 actionable line items on a specific use case. We're not interested in other data. We're specifically focusing on atmospheric plume dispersion modeling, or if the U.S. Government decides that they want us to pursue another venue, we will specifically focus on a specific use case with our AI. So it will not necessarily be an AI where it's incorporating all of these different possible datas and scenarios. This is a problem. We want to make sure the base is safe from potential chemical attacks, and we're going to be using the atmospheric plume dispersion modeling. So that's really the goal of these demos, is being able to show how we can actually get that done. And this is going to be coming up this year. There's also demos with the fire department as well, and we're working with local Native American tribes as well, working with them on controlled burns and also mapping out fuel sources. So we're really focusing on providing, hey, this works.
Well, Alex, this is Protectors, Defenders. We've been focused primarily in our conversation so far about the military, but you just mentioned firefighters. You mentioned, some other like environmental and other groups. Explain how this technology can help others that protect, for example, the homeland or just our local communities.
Yes. And it's really interesting, because if the problem is brought to us, for example, yesterday we were on a call with some of the local Native American tribes here in Northern California, and they're having a lot of issues with pollution, and having issues with fires as well. That's another problem. And you have another scenario where, let's say if it's, a dispersion of oil in the Arctic, and this is where pollution can become a real big problem. So being able to utilize, the physics-informed neural networks. Now this can really change its gears, and you can really put a focus on, for example, a dispersion in water, and you're not now working on atmospheric plume dispersion. You're focusing on oil being dispersed in water in a very difficult environment, such as, let's say, the Arctic, where there's oil and ice, and it's very difficult to separate the two. Utilizing our existing methods with satellite imagery, it's very difficult. So for us to be able to build the framework where, no garbage in, no garbage out, and being able to listen to the customer, and to listen to the problem in itself, and be able to have an approach where this pin could be implemented for water dispersion or for mapping out fuel sources to prevent large fires that can cause, huge amounts of loss to the state, and also in terms of the significant pollution that that we will end up breathing in, and it just carries on. So being able to really have this amazing approach where the pins, the AI, the LLM that we're building, how this can really be integrated with so many different use cases.
Wow, what you're doing is so critically important, Alex. Did we, when I was not able to be in the call, did we talk a little bit about the expert team that you've gathered around yourself to help build this technology that you're so focused on?
Yeah, no, we didn't talk about that, and I think that's been probably the most rewarding part of this is, going to these expos, going to these events. Even you and I, Don, we met at an expo, and that's really amazing how we were able to just come together, and you kind of just read the energy that the person's putting out, and it was amazing watching you right there on the front row, and we sat next to each other in San Diego, and similarly, to the same token, going to these different shows and events with AI, ranging from here in the U.S. to, I went to Belgium. I went all over Europe, and I was able to meet some really intelligent, passionate people, just like yourself, that are really driven on making a difference. And I was able to recruit worldwide, in my opinion, some of the top data scientists, majority of them which are American, and they are just phenomenal. They are a team that is just working so well hand in hand. They are extremely intelligent, and for myself, being able to bring the knowledge of what happens outside the wire in an active war zone to these highly intelligent and capable scientists, and for them to then go to the drawing board and build a platform such as we've been building now. It's incredible how it really comes together. And it's interesting because no is really not an answer. There's a lot possible, especially with AI. It's really interesting. I've not received a hard no. The only time I've received a hard no, it's like, hey, you know, let's just focus on technology 5 to 7 years from now, because I'm pushing on the 10 year from now brink. But it's been phenomenal just recruiting some of the best data scientists worldwide.
And you've also, I kind of mentioned sensors, but you've also gathered a bunch of different technologies as part of, preparing for the demos that you're about to do, right? Because I know, Alex, you and I talked about this. You're somewhat drone agnostic in terms of an airborne platform. With regard to the sensors, you looked at a whole range of things. A lot of companies and C-suite folks watch this show, Alex. For those that are out there, who are you still looking to partner with in terms of putting together, kind of a holistic solution?
Yeah, I think the partnerships, it's really what's critical, and everyone that is out there developing these critical hardware components, they really are a big chunk of this platform, because without that critical data coming in, I mean, the AI is useless. It's breathing and living off of the data, and to be able to have deployable sensors, hardware that are resilient. There's so many different conditions with the weather. You're not going to have a perfect sunny day. There's going to be gusts. There's going to be rain. Are there going to be malfunctions? And I would say that some of the big takeaways that we're finding so far is just really ensuring that the sensors that we're getting, hey, they're housed, they're waterproof, because there will be situations where you will have moisture, humidity, there'll be rain, and when you're operating and the AI is really relying on this data to come in, and it's now not transmitting that data, well, that really takes away a big component. And if you go back to the physics-informed neural network, you need that data and that sensor fusion. And also being able to have stationary sensors placed as well. And that's something that we're also really focusing on, is building digital twins, deployable digital twins. So with the hardware component, I would say as resilient as it could be produced, and taking into account various weather conditions, taking in account that this could be deployed in active war zones where there could be hostile activity, and ensuring that the connectivity is there and present. So the hardware folks that are out there, they play a huge role. So, and as they're advancing, as technology is advancing, so does our AI platform. So the more resilient they can make it, the much more reliable the AI will be.
Awesome. Hey, Alex, in terms of next steps, like where are you in kind of this development timeline, and when do you expect to be able to demonstrate your solution?
Yeah, and I would say right now, we're starting some of our demos next week with the fire department, and with the DoD, we're hoping to complete that for the end of the year. There's a bit more components and parts that really need fine tuning prior to deployment with the government. So we're hopefully going to be deploying our demos with the Department of Defense before the end of the year. But as far as our AI being deployed, we're hoping that it will be in its, in that initial phase of its demo stage by the beginning of next year, tuned out, and being able to get it out by then. But definitely by this year, getting a few demos out to the fire department and the DoD.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned you've gone to a lot of different expos and conferences. You kind of alluded to that you and I met in San Diego. That was AVSI's Exponential. Where can we expect to see you in person next, where folks can meet you and you can do some maybe B2B conversations?
Yeah, I would really like to start going out to a bit more of the expos that you have also attended, and that you have on your agenda as well, because I was able to meet so many great like-minded individuals there as well. But I would say possibly at the next NVIDIA GTC, and I believe that we also have a conference coming up in September.
Yes.
Uh,
So, fun fact, everybody, Alex is going to Las Vegas, the commercial UAV. So that's kind of the next big drone industry event. And stay tuned for the full crew live from commercial UAV. Alex will be also featured on that show. I can't wait to get your impressions after you walk around that floor too, Alex. And super focused on drone technology in particular. So really excited to walk you around a little bit in Las Vegas. And by the way, everybody, along those lines, make your reservations now to come Monday on Labor Day. That evening, my partner Karasoft is throwing a joint party with P3 Tech, my company, at Caesar's Palace. If you go on the P3 Tech website and follow me on social media, you'll find it on my website under events. There's a link there to sign up. It's free. It's going to be awesome. And so you'll get to meet Alex and so many others there. So hopefully y'all can join us. All right, Alex. So we covered a lot of ground. Well, you did mostly in my absence, but what did we miss before? We're getting close to the end of the show. I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to kind of, provide your concluding remarks, and also to, of course, please tell people, besides seeing you in Las Vegas in early September, how they can reach out to you and find you otherwise.
Yeah, LinkedIn is really amazing. I've been able to also make great connections on LinkedIn. So you'll be able to find me on LinkedIn. I'm sure it'll be in the show notes as well. You guys can also reach out to us on our website. That's www.mrincorp.com. And you can reach out to us directly there. And I would love to discuss, see areas where you may have any collaboration, or just reach out and see what possibilities may be out there. I'm very open to that. And it's amazing, when I do think about, the AI platform, the more collaboration you do have, the more information you're able to feed the system, the better it performs. So, it's all about coming in together. So if there is an opportunity to work or collaborate with anyone that this podcast and interview resonates with, please feel free to reach out.
And by the way, Jennifer L. just did reach out to us from Singapore with some greetings. So, this is global, and we do have a handful of regulars, Alex, that dial into the show. So welcome, Jennifer, to our crowd here. So any concluding remarks, Alex, before we dial off today?
Yeah, I really just want to say that I'm very grateful for all the opportunities, and it's amazing how, if you really put your mind to something and you just stick to it, anything is possible. And just reflection of the time in Afghanistan when I was just 21 years old, and I got there and I had no idea what I was doing, where I was going. As long as I was able to stick to that path of, hey, I want to do something, and I want to do something good, that helps people. That was something that I'm kind of sticking with right now as well, and it's really amazing how it's playing itself together. And I'm just very grateful for this opportunity. I'm very grateful for yourself, Dawn, for allowing for me to have this opportunity to speak with you. There you go. And everyone else that's out there. Yeah, and I'm just here, and I'm present, and I look forward to making some amazing strides, and I look forward to collaborating with those that would like to collaborate. And I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
He is ready to go, and Alex, we're excited to watch you continue to grow. Welcome to the industry. I know this is kind of a new venture for you. It's amazing the team that you have gathered together, the amount of work that you've been able to accomplish in a super short amount of time, the demos you already have lined up. Really look forward to watching this launch, and honored to have you the opportunity to be one of the people to help let others know what it is you're doing. And so looking forward to seeing you in person soon. And again, to you and everybody out there, apologies for some of the technical difficulties we had today. But great stuff here, and we will get some clips out that you can watch this in smaller bites and without interruption. So thank you again, Alex, and everybody out there. We are out here.
Thank you.